We're joined right now by Maggie Johndrow, a financial advisor with Johndrow Wealth, just to help all of you out there better understand what is going to be happening starting in the next couple of days and what options you have available to you. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
I know it's not always easy driving in on this rain, like you said.
The rain
it was
tough.
hard getting here, so we certainly do appreciate it. All right, first things first. What are some of the first things borrowers should be checking just to make sure all their ducks are in a row before October 1st?
Sure, you want to check what is your monthly payment and how do you make it. So over the last couple of years, there's been turnover in loan servicers. So you might have a new loan provider, servicer.
Yeah.
You would have gotten notified by email or mail if that was the case. So be sure to log in, see what your monthly payment is, and see what your interest is. For the last couple of years, interest has been reported as zero, but it's not that way anymore.
Yeah, I'm also kind of worried because I'm one of those people who might have lost the mail.
Oh, no.
What do you do if you're not quite sure you have that notice as to who's your new loan servicer?
Sure, you want to just go to the federalstudentaid.gov website and they should be able to help you too.
There you go, that should help. All right, now, are there sort of repayment programs that are available now, and were they available before? Are there new things that people need to know about?
So there's always been an income-driven repayment program. As the name suggests, it is based on how much you earn, what is your discretionary income. But there is a new program that the Biden administration has come up with called the SAVE program, S-A-V-E, and they're touting that it could save a lot of people money on their monthly payments, even saying that some payments might be as low as $0.
Really?
So you want to ensure if that plan is right for you. You can do that by contacting your loan servicer or a financial advisor.
Okay, yeah, the SAVE program. So remember that. I like acronyms. They make it very easy to deal with. Of course, this still might be a little overwhelming for people, not just with the changes, but now with the fact that people have had to deal with inflation, their budgets are getting pinched, and now they've got this on top of it. What sort of options, well, I don't know if options are the right word, but is there any leeway? Is there any grace periods left now that they're restarting?
There are. So the government does recognize that, yes, this might pinch people's budgets. So they're giving folks 12 months to figure out their loan payments, meaning that if you miss a loan payment or are late, you won't incur a late payment. It won't be reported to the credit agencies for the next year. So you have some time to get your ducks in a row. But remember, interest will still accrue during that time. So kicking the can too far down the road is not in your best interest.
Yes, but you were mentioning this before we went on the air. A lot of people, they understand they have to repay, but still there might be choices that have to be made. Do I repay this loan or a different loan? Do I repay this loan or put that money into my 401k? What do you tell those people who have to make that kind of decision?
So you always want to look at interest rates. So typically I say make all of your minimum payments to all of your debt so that your credit score is not impacted, so you don't incur late fees. But if you have extra money, be putting it towards the debt with the highest interest rate, because that's costing you the most. Now the retirement question is an interesting one because typically I tell folks to try to put something into retirement.
Yeah.
You can borrow for almost anything in life, but you can't borrow for retirement. Plus, if your employer gives you a match, that's free money, but you need to put money into your retirement plan to get it. So overall, try to pay off debt and put into retirement, and always take a look at interest rates and pay that off first.
Real quick, tell me if I'm wrong. If you're looking at those interest rates, I'm guessing any credit card debt is probably going to have the highest interest rate.
Yeah, typically we see it in the double digits. I've seen it as high as 27%, especially with our rising interest rate environment that we're in right now. So that's typically the first place to look, and it's in your fine print on your statement.
Yeah, go there first, and like you said, just check the numbers. That actually winds up making it a lot easier. Maggie, thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
I appreciate it.
I know it's hard getting out there in the weather trying to get here, but we're glad she did. All right, we'll send it back to you in the studio.